welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, my name is Caroline and I make sewing tutorials and sewing patterns to help you along your sewing journey. And for today's video, I'll be hand sewing another leather bag. Now, this isn't my first rodeo anymore. I actually already have made one at the end of last year. You guys seem to really like that video and I also really enjoyed making it. But someone else here also loved the concept of sewing her own leather bag. That someone being my mom. So today you'll be meeting my mom for the first time too. She'll be making her debut here on my channel, which I'm really excited about. Each one of us will make a bag. They have totally different designs. I'll share more details about that in a bit. But first, let me get the other bag that I made to show you guys how it looks like today. Here it is. I have worn it a lot since then. This design was inspired by the Kelly bag from Hermès, which is a brand that is obviously way out of my budget. But I just always loved this design and I also love being able to make it myself. And when you look at it, you might think, there is no way you made that yourself, which is the usual reaction I get when I'm wearing this outside. And of course, after I end up casually mentioning that I was the one who sewed it completely by hand. But if you didn't watch the video of me making this one, let me just make it clear that I didn't make this one from scratch like I usually do here on my channel, because I'm a pattern maker and I have shown how to make a bag before with a free pattern on my website too. But for this leather bag, I didn't make the pattern or cut the bag myself. I actually just did the hand sewing part, like assembling all of the pieces together, which also takes a long time and a lot of effort, but way less than it would if I had to do it all myself, because the bag was made from a leather bag kit that I got as a gift from Babylon Leather. Before they emailed me, I wasn't really aware that leather bag kits were a thing, but the kit already comes with all the materials that you would need to make a bag, and the leather pieces come pre-cut with all of the edges already finished and the pinholes already done for you, which makes everything way more simple and less intimidating than starting from scratch, which is great for those who want to start working with leather like me but don't really know much about it or how to start. Like, eventually I want to make a leather bag from scratch. Ever since I made that first video, I have been researching a lot about leather work and all the techniques and everything. It became a real interest of mine, and if you'd like for me to film the process eventually when I decide to do that, please let me know in the comments. But since that first video that I made was pretty loved, Babylon Leather asked me if I wanted them to send me a second kit, and I said yes because I truly really enjoyed making the first bag. But as I said, someone else here also loved the concept of sewing her own leather bag. So I asked them if my mom could choose a kit for herself this time too, and they actually sent each one of us a kit this time. She was really excited when I told her. It was really cute, but she was a bit unsure about being able to make it herself because she doesn't really have any sewing experience, just crochet. If everything goes wrong, I'll pick hers up and finish it myself, but I really don't think it would be necessary because the last project that I did, the Kelly, was pretty beginner friendly. I'll show you the designs that we chose in a bit, but as a disclaimer, I'm not being paid directly to make this video. They asked me if they could send me the kits for free for me to make a video and share my thoughts if I liked it or not. And as I said, I really did, but just like last time, they have given me a coupon code to share with you guys that will give you a discount if you plan on making the bag. And if you use my coupon, then you'll be helping the channel out because then I'll receive a small commission of the sale. So if you watch the video and think you're gonna like making one yourself, you can use the coupon code that will be written on the screen. The links to Babylon's website will also be in the description. But now let me go get my mom so we can start finally working on our bags. I have no idea how this will go because she has never been on camera and she doesn't speak English, so I'm gonna be using Portuguese when I talk to her. There will be subtitles, so don't worry, but let's hope everything works out and it's not super awkward. Oi, mãe.
Oi, amor.
Diz oi pra rapaziada.
Oi, rapaziada.
Seja muito bem-vindo ao meu canal. Pela primeira vez eu estou costurando com uma convidada.
Uma ilustre convidada.
É, mais que especial. Que está usando inclusive um vestido que eu fiz. Não é o vestido Ana Lúcia, apesar de seu nome ser Ana Lúcia.
Foi o primeiro que você fez pra mim, esse aqui.
Foi?
Foi. Acho que foi. Não sei. Acho que foi, não foi?
Não sei, não lembro.
Acho que foi. Esse aqui foi o primeiro.
Primeiro vestido que eu fiz pra ela. And according to YouTube, she is my #1 fan, the person that has commented the most out of all people on all of my videos.
Por que será?
Então agora a gente vai mostrar os modelos de bolsa que a gente escolheu. Eu vou começar. So now we're gonna share the designs that we chose. I chose the Birkin bag this time in a size medium in black. But there are so many cute bags to choose from. My mom actually spent a lot of time trying to decide which one she wanted. Eu falei que você passou bastante tempo escolhendo qual bolsa você queria e acabou decidindo nessa daqui. Por que você escolheu essa?
Eu adorei por causa do tamanho, né? Ainda mais que eu já estava usando a sua antiga. Peguei algumas vezes emprestada, então o tamanho é excelente, porque eu não gosto de bolsa grande, eu gosto de bolsa que eu possa carregar somente o essencial. E essa, pra mim, foi perfeita.
Eu também gostei bastante da que você escolheu, ela tem detalhes em cor contrastante em volta. And when you buy a kit, you also get a sheet with a QR code that takes you to the YouTube tutorial. The Birkin has 2 different videos and they're both significantly longer than the Kelly tutorial, so I am guessing this one is gonna be a little bit more challenging than the other one that I made. And I also watched the video tutorial for the bag that my mom chose, and it seems a little bit more complicated as well because it has this contrasting color design that you're gonna have to sew outside with piping in the middle, so I'm guessing this is gonna be a little bit more difficult. But at the end, we're gonna see if even a beginner with basically no sewing experience can make it too. Você tem experiência no caso com crochê, né?
Crochê, já fiz ponto cruz, né?
Crochê e ponto cruz. Eu não sei como se fala ponto cruz em inglês. Crochê.
Bordado. Sabe falar bordado?
Embroidery.
Bordado, já fiz.
Mas costura, não.
Não.
Cada uma está com seu respectivo vídeo aberto
Peraí.
no YouTube.
Ai, deu merda.
Não mais?
Não mais.
Cada uma está com o respectivo vídeo aberto no YouTube, agora corretamente. Mas agora no início eu acho que eu vou focar em te mostrar como que faz o seu, porque tá tudo em inglês. This is one of the issues. The videos aren't really translated, they're all in English, so she doesn't speak English, so I'm gonna have to translate to her and explain the steps. But overall, the sewing motion is basically the same, at least for the Kelly. So I think I'll only have to show her how to do it in the beginning, but after a while, I think she's gonna be able to do it by herself.
Como é que fala vamos lá? Eu falo, vamos lá?
Vamos lá. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Então tá bom.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Deixa eu começar a filmar aqui também. Ih, agora ferrou.
O quê?
Porque pra desbloquear tem que ser o meu rosto. Não foi. Pronto. So I have already separated all the pieces that we need for the very first step. Vamos começar com a linha. Ela falou pra medir 4 vezes essa parte que a gente vai costurar aqui.
Tá.
The kit comes with a lot of extra needles too. Last time I actually broke one in the middle, but we had more, so it was okay.
A prova.
Quero ver se você vai conseguir, hein?
Já consegui.
Ah, moleque!
Peraí, mas aí, no caso, tem que cortar o meio,
pontinha,
né? Não, mas eu tenho que cortar no meio, né? Porque eu deixo desse pedaço mesmo todo.
Esse pedaço todo. Você vai usar as 2 agulhas juntas numa linha só.
Como é que faz?
Calma, ó. Aí pra você dar um nó na agulha, eu vou fazer aqui pra o pessoal conseguir ver aqui em cima. Você passa a agulha no meio da linha, assim, ó. Aí você puxa e o nó ficou, tá vendo? Aí você faz agora do outro lado, vê se você lembra. Você vai ter que fazer isso várias vezes.
Tá bom, isso é fácil pra mim.
Ó, o óculos tá bom.
Que isso aqui é fácil pra mim. Então passa no meio da linha, né?
É.
Eu posso passar na minha unha, ou na minha pele. Pronto.
Você passa a agulha no primeiro buraco.
Aqui por baixo. Nossa senhora. O preto é terrível. Pronto, passei. Acho que eu não devia ter escolhido a preta, porque a clarinha seria mais fácil para eu enxergar. Acho que à noite não vai dar para fazer isso aqui, não.
And now I'm gonna start with mine. I'm going to sew this part right here to this part right here.
Eu tive um pouco de dificuldade por causa do material ser escuro, né? Mas você percebendo que você ficando com ele inclinado, você consegue enxergar melhor os buracos. E essa aqui pra mim foi bem mais fácil. Eu consegui. E eu tinha colocado no início esse clipe, né? Só que agora eu percebi que essa parte aqui sem o clipe ficou bem melhor de trabalhar do que com um clipe.
E eu acho que eu medi a linha. Tô falo em português. And I think I measured the thread way too short, and I don't know if I'm gonna have enough to go all the way to the end. My mistake, but I am almost finished with the first foot, and my mom has finished adding both front brown details of hers. Da outra vez eu sabia que era mais fácil com isso daqui e eu não peguei pra botar. Guys, don't forget the little finger condoms, because they help holding. We spent a good few hours that day sewing our bags together. I didn't film the whole time, but it was fun, even though we didn't actually get a lot of things done. Maybe we didn't get that much done because of all the yapping. We talked more than we sewed, but that's okay. So my mom actually finished her bag way faster than me. She was really focused from the beginning. I think she basically finished hers before I even got properly started on mine. I just had a lot of things going on during that time and I couldn't really sit down to sew mine and film, but I was always next to her, helping her out, showing her what to do, because she doesn't really speak English and couldn't follow the tutorial on her own. So every time there was a new step, I would come, watch the video and explain it to her, and then she would get going. Because once I explained the steps, she totally got it and was able to do it by herself. She didn't always remember to record herself or to use the timer, so I'm not totally sure how many hours it took her to finish her bag. But I think it took her a lot more time than I took to finish my Kelly bag the other time, because this one seemed a bit harder. One of the main issues for her was the black leather. She doesn't have a really good eyesight to see things up close, so when she had to work with the black layers, she couldn't always see all the holes properly. And I have to say, I know I wear glasses, but it's for like far away. I can see pretty well when things are close or when I have my glasses on. And even I struggled a little bit seeing all the holes in my bag that was also black. I had to be in a really bright environment, like with a lot of light to sew. If the room was darker, it was a little bit harder to see. So if you have a hard time seeing close-up stuff like my mom, I'd say to go with a lighter color. Maybe you don't choose black, because that was definitely not a problem for me with the caramel Kelly or the piping for my mom's bag that was also caramel. It was only hard to see with the black material. So just a heads up, because we didn't even consider this before choosing our bags, and it can make a difference to some of you who might not have the best eyesight. I still love the black though. It's my favorite color, so I think it was worth it, but it's up to you. Oh, and this bag had piping and binding around all the edges, so it made the layers a lot thicker and a bit harder to sew through, just like the Birkin. The Kelly didn't have any of that, so I think that's why it was a bit easier. Now for my Birkin, I started it right away with my mom, but then life kind of got in the way and I had to abandon it for a little while. I didn't record every single time I stopped to sew like I did last time, because sometimes my table was a mess or I was not feeling like getting ready and I just needed to get the bag done. But I did use a timer every time and I wrote down the time it took for me to do it. Since I had already sewn a bag before, this wasn't new for me. I also really enjoyed the process like last time. It was really therapeutic and I personally don't think it's hard to do. Neither did my mom. I feel like if she understood English, she probably wouldn't even need my help. And as I said before in my previous video, I do think this type of project is beginner friendly, even if you don't have a lot of sewing experience. It was way easier to sew these pieces by hand than I think it would be to sew it by machine, since the holes are already done. Because with the machine, since it's super fast, you're the one controlling where the stitches go, so it requires a lot more control, a lot more precision, and attention as well when you're sewing. But with hand sewing, it takes a lot more time, but the holes are already there for the skit, so you can just zone out, listen to an audiobook, a video, and stitch. My mom compared it to cross-stitching. I've never done that, but I guess it does make sense. The difference is that the position of the stitching is already done here for you. So I think it's easier to follow without thinking too much, but it's more difficult to get the needle through sometimes because the material is way thicker in some parts. This leather seemed even softer on the skin than the Kelly. It's really nice. If I'm being real with you, I think the Birkin was a bit harder than the Kelly too. It definitely took me more time. You have to sew like all the sides and the bottom, they're all separate, and you also had to add piping in between these layers, so it was a little bit tougher to get the needle through. Nothing impossible, and the piping looks really good on the outside, so I think it's worth it, but I do think it takes a lot more time. Just sewing the sides and the bottom alone took me almost 5 hours, I think, like 4 hours and 40 minutes. But while I was sewing that part, I was also paying attention to something else, so that could be why. Because on top of everything, I was also studying to get my driver's license, so I was watching some classes and taking notes the day before the exam while I sewed the bag. Because here in Brazil, you need to pass like a written test, like theory only, before you even get inside a car. So I haven't even done that yet. I haven't even touched a steering wheel, but I did pass my exam, so soon I will, which might be a problem for everyone else who will drive on the same road as me. And you might be thinking, aren't you a little bit too old to be getting a driver's license now? And yeah, maybe, I agree. But it's better late than ever, so here we are. Overall, it was real fun once again, and it took me a total of 12 hours and 30 minutes from start to finish, which is kind of a lot of time, but the end result is totally worth it. The bag looked like something that came straight out of a store. I loved both of her designs, mine and my mom's, and she also loved both of them. I'll get her to quickly share her thoughts before we wrap up, because I'm pretty sure this video is already super long. But now that both of our bags are done, I'm gonna put a little montage of us wearing them. So here we are, a few weeks after the first video that we recorded. Now I'm going to ask my mom if there's anything that she would like to add about the experience. Então, mãe, tem alguma coisa que você queira falar pra eles?
Pra mim foi uma experiência muito gostosa, porque eu me remeteu ao passado, na época que eu fazia ponto cruz. Eu achei uma delícia, só que assim, a única dificuldade, o grau de dificuldade que eu tive foi por ser o couro escuro, e aí na hora de fazer os pontos, por eu ter um pouquinho de dificuldade para enxergar, me dificultou um pouquinho. Se eu tivesse que fazer uma nova bolsa, seria uma cor mais clara por esse motivo. Mas adorei a experiência. Gostei muito.
Então você acha que pessoas que não têm tanta experiência com costura conseguem fazer também?
Eu acredito que sim. A única dificuldade, por exemplo, no meu caso, porque eu não falo inglês. Então, se você não traduzisse pra mim, não teria como fazer.
Uhum.
Mas eu acho que uma pessoa que, mesmo sem ter noção nenhuma de costura, eu acho que consegue fazer. Acho que não tem dificuldade, não.
So if you'd like to get a kit like my own or my mom's, I'm going to link both of those bags in the description of the video. But there are so many options. You can just check their website to see if there's anyone else that you would like more. In my opinion, the Kelly was a little bit easier than the other two, and it's also very lovely, so you can consider that one. And as I said in the beginning of the video, if you'd like to get one for yourself or even for your mom, you can use my coupon code and you'll get an extra discount on your order. And if you use my coupon, I'll also get a small commission of the sale, so you'll also be supporting the channel. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Which bag did you like the most? My own, my mom's, or the Kelly that I made the other time? And if you'd like to see my mom here again, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know in the comments so I can try to convince her to join again. And again, thank you for watching until now. I really hope you liked the video, and I hope to see you around next time as well.
Bye! Yeah, Bye!